Welcome, college basketball fans, to the Full Court Press Podcast with LT and Sammy D. This is the podcast that brings you legendary stories from college basketball's golden era and dives in deep with a current analysis of today's game. Get ready for the most energetic and entertaining college basketball podcast around. Let's get it.
Sam, I'm excited. We got another great conference preview. We've done a couple, and we've got a couple more to go. I'm so thankful to the Pac-10, 12, 8, or 4, 6 that they're no longer, because it's one less for us to do. But we're going, I guess, out to like the Midwest mountain area. We're going to the Summit League. We got Coach Eric Henderson from South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, and we got Omaha. We got Coach Crutchfield from the Mavs. Yeah, I'm excited. Welcome to the Full Court Press Podcast, a college basketball experience. What's going on, guys?
San Diego, California, Brookings, South Dakota. It's all the same, baby. Don't worry.
It is. It is.
Nope.
My bad.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Just get them on the plane. They'll figure out once they land. It's all God's country up there, though. It's all good.
Sunny every day, baby.
It is sunny, yeah, but it's cold as shit in the winter.
Yeah, you ain't wrong there. That's
yeah.
For sure. But I know what? One thing, it's colder in Fargo and Grand Forks, baby.
That is true. That is true.
It's sunny in Nebraska, isn't it, in the winter, Coach?
Oh, man, it's sunny. And right now it's 83. It's going to get to 89 today. And in December, it's about 70.
Mm-hmm.
You can golf 12 months a year there, I know.
That's what the
is that true?
That's as well. Nah, it's not true, but it's it is. Omaha is one of my favorite cities in the U.S. What that's grown into be in the past 15, 20 years. I think everybody should pass through there and see it. I grew up in Kansas City. Big UMKC Roos fan growing up in Kansas City. So
oh my goodness.
I'm excited to have these coaches from the Summit League on with us here. Nice. So
yeah.
What's been going on this summer, coaches? Not a day off, huh?
Just actually working, man. We had our guys on campus all summer in June, July, and kind of getting acclimated to college for some of our new guys and kind of blending new guys with the returners. And man, it's been just a little bit of a grind. I haven't had a chance to play a lot of golf yet, but we're running out of time too, Hindu. So I might try to get around in today when I get off with you guys, and then that's it. I'm gonna put them up here in about 2 weeks.
Hey, Coach. Coach Henderson. Let's keep him on here as long as he can, so he misses his tea time.
Then my boss is gonna fire me.
You don't want that. You're too good a dude to make that happen. Too good a coach to make that happen. But yeah, no, it's been a good summer up here as well. You know, much of the same. And you know, it used to be where May was a little bit more relaxed, but now with the transfer portal and NIL and all that stuff, it's just it's a grind all the way through from the end of the season until you get your guys on campus in the summer. And but it's fun. I mean, it's different and unique, but at the end of the day, you have to embrace it. And like Coach Crutch said, just we get 8 weeks in the summer and starting to build that connection with your team and trust within your team, I think is really, really important. And figuring out what you have. I know Coach Crutch, his team's pretty fortunate enough. They got, 5 or 6, maybe 7 players back that have some experience, but that's not always the case. And every year's new now, and you just have to embrace it.
Yeah. And it's going to be an interesting year. You got Tommy Bruner, who was one of the top scorers in the nation. He's gone. You've got Fiddler, who you had, Coach Crutchfield, Omaha, gone. You have obviously Zeke Mayo's gone to Kansas, and another gentleman that transferred to UCLA. But what I've noticed about your guys' league is, though you might lose a very strong player, 1 or 2, you somehow develop one to replace him. I mean, is that a pretty true statement?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very fair statement. And I think at the end of the day, it just says a lot about the coaches in our league, the cultures that each program has, because it's kind of a next man up mentality. I think we focus on the right things. We focus on the kids and trying to help them learn and grow and give them opportunities. And of course, we'd like to coach a lot of them for 4 years or 5 years if they redshirt, but that's just not the case anymore. And I know, you can't say there's not a few, tough feelings inside when you lose a guy like Frankie Fiddler or Zeke Mayo or William Kyle, like Crutch and I have. But at the end of the day, what are we here for? We're here to help these young people grow and learn and achieve their goals and dreams. And if that's what part of it is, you just have to be happy for them and move on and make a difference with the next guy. And that's what it's all about. It's kind of is what it is.
Yeah, but then Coach Crutchfield can't play as much golf.
No,
he'll get it in. I promise you that.
No. I tell you what I got, and this is what we have to get used to. And Hindu noticed, like, our roster is going to change every year, and at this level, we're going to lose our best players. It's just going to happen. We kind of plan for it now. We recruit like we're getting ready to lose our best player, and we know. And unbelievable, this league has been unbelievable about moving guys up, and I think we sell that now. We sell it. I mean, we're becoming the farm system for the Big Ten and the Pac-12, and well, not the Pac-12 anymore, but
the Pac-2, Coach. The Pac-2.
But the Big 12, we're getting ready to be a feeding school, and even the SEC. I mean, you look at the last 3 years, guys have left the summit to move up a level, and it's going to be that way from here on out. So we're getting used to it. And
yeah, but Coach, that's a tough pill to swallow, though. When you think about you're building these relationships for 8 to 10 months, right?
No doubt. But in Hindu's case, I mean, you had guys for 3 years, sometime redshirt year, and 3 more, and they leave going into their fourth year, fifth year seniors. They leave for greener pastures. But we just have to embrace it, man, and kind of spin it as a positive. I think that's what I've done. I'm telling people, you come to Omaha, hey, you have a chance to go to Michigan State in a year if you handle your business.
Yeah, and it definitely, and I mean, we've had Coach Smiley on the podcast. He had Dalton Connect, who was, on the center of everywhere.
That's right.
And no one really knew of UNC. They thought of UNC as the Tar Heels, but now people know who the UNC Bears are because of Dalton Connect and potentially St. Thomas, who transferred from, the UNC to USC. So I think you obviously can take positives, and you are, because now it's like, hey, you might not get any tick by going to Villanova now, but you come to Omaha, you might even go bigger. You might go to Kentucky. No offense to Villanova.
No doubt.
Coach Crutchfield, how much of that story is similar to your JUCO days, right? Where it's like you only have these guys for 1, maybe 2 years at most, and you are kind of constantly revolving a roster, but then your goal is to get them to greener pastures.
It's very similar now. Very similar. If you can have a guy for 2 to 3, it's great. You got to plan on one. And I'm thankful for my JUCO experience, Hindu, because I'm telling you, man, it's back to that day, especially for the mid-majors. And I just think this is the way it's going to be. And you having guys for 2 years, you can have them for 2 years, and if they play well enough that power forward do come and poach, obviously your team did something pretty good, or that player did something pretty good, and you're happy for them, because the kind of money that they're giving away now, I will go and just sit on the bench and wave a towel, man, the kind of money that the power forwards are giving away.
Isn't it crazy, though? You hear some of these stories.
Oh, they're true. Some of them are true too.
Yeah, no, that's wild. So we've talked a little about guys who have left the Summit League for higher conferences, right? But it goes both ways, right? You guys are still recruiting new good players to come in and fill those spots. Talk a little bit about your team's upcoming season and like what those rosters look like, and kind of how these first kind of summer practices and training sessions have looked like.
Yeah. Well, we took 2 transfers from in our league, former Bison, and
hey, how does that work?
We about ready to see. We about ready to see, and luckily, our guys on our staff had a relationship with those guys. If not, I'm not a big transfer portal guy. I'm really not. I'm a relationship guy, and I think that I'd rather go after a junior college kid opposed to going off a Porter kid and recruiting them blind and not having a connection. But we have two guys, and we took two JUCO kids, as I will always do, because I'm just partial to junior college kids and their journeys and their stories. So we're blending those guys with a couple high school kids, and I like it. I like it now because we're older. This is the oldest team I've had since we've been here, and
Yeah.
we got 4 seniors and 4 juniors. And Hendo know what that feel like because he had an older team last year, and it made a big difference. It made a huge difference. So I feel good about what's coming up. I like our group, great chemistry, and we fill some holes. We got some talent, and I'm excited about this team going into our 3rd year.
Yeah. Can Tony Osborne still shoot the rock?
He can shoot the rock. Elite shooter.
Yeah. And you know what? Coach Henderson has someone coming in from Wisconsin that can shoot at Isaac Lindsey. You're gonna be filling up some buckets between those two guys this year in the summit.
Well, I sure hope so. I do. Like Crutch said, it's a new roster every year, and as old as he is, we're about the opposite. We'll be as young as we've been in a long time. We've had some guys around our program. Last year,
right.
We had 2 6-year guys and 1 5th-year guy, and and then 2 transfers that happened to go to Blue Bloods. So I mean, we had a pretty good roster last year, but like Crutch, I'm a relationship guy as well, and so we ended up getting a couple transfers, both that I had previous relationships with. Isaac Lindsey, who you talked about, Luke, was kind of a limited opportunity guy at Wisconsin, wanted a bigger role. And he's in his 5th year of college. And so for us, we needed some of that age. We needed some of that experience. And then we got a big kid from Washington State that, played in that NCAA tournament. And so those were the 2 transfers we took. And we just needed some guys with experience and age. We're the only team in the Summit League that isn't bringing back a starter, not one. And we're going to play a bunch of young kids after that. And that's at the end of the day how I think a lot of teams in our league are going to do it. Like Crutch said, most of us are relationship guys. We're going to see what happens.
And you've got some height coming in too. You got a 7-footer and a 6'11" guy. I would hate to go in the trees if you're a shorter dude trying to play some ball down there.
Well, I hope we can protect that paint. We had an elite rim protector last year, so we needed to bring in some size.
Yeah. Talk about the league. How does the league look? I mean, you got Oral Roberts, Denver, South Dakota, North Dakota State, St. Thomas, UMKC, and then North Dakota / Omaha. I guess North Dakota is the new pipeline for Omaha for transfers, Coach?
North Dakota State, yeah.
But for me, Sam, I think you for the Summit League, you should be pretty excited when I look at these rosters. I don't know about you, Crutch, but those guys in Kansas City are probably pretty excited. They've got a lot of their dudes back. They got Anderson Kopp healthy again, and they finished 2nd in our league last year. And so I think they're going to be tough. I think, Crutch, you got a good squad coming back with some experience. Age is a beautiful thing, right? And
no doubt
so you
about
look
it.
at some of those teams that have the more returners, guys that are a little bit older. Those are the guys that are the teams that I look at, even USD. And I know where they finished last year, but they've got a bunch of older guys. And as we all know, that makes such a huge difference.
Yeah. And you're right. UMKC returned probably the most starters than anybody else, and we returned in 2. But after that, I mean, everybody lost their best player. I mean, North Dakota, who had a surprising season, but finished 3rd, they lost their best 2 players in Omot and Inacho. So guys lost players, and the league is wide open right now. Outside of Kansas City, who are returning, I think, 3 starters. We're returning 2. After that, I mean, it's a wide open race as far as having experience and having returners come back to your team. But guys recruit well in this league. It's a good coach league. All these guys can coach. You better be prepared when you go into those games. and it'll be some guys pop up that we'll be saying, where the hell that guy come from?
Yeah.
And he'll be
Yeah.
a hell of a player. I mean,
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
Can I give you guys advice? There's a new Netflix show called or Move Dossier or whatever called Connor Stallions. You guys should for scouting purposes send them into to your gyms to see what your guys are playing against. No one will know.
I know exactly.
I know Kyan Brown's been in at least 7 of our gyms already. I guarantee that. Guarantee.
You can't miss that guy. He can't put on sunglasses.
You're right about that.
He can't put on sunglasses and a hat, man.
Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm trying to be ahead of the curve. I mean, some of these coaches that got troubled in the end, trouble and allegations and violations with the NCAA now look like kings right now because they're doing everything that you guys are doing now 5, 10, 15 years ago.
You aren't a kid in there.
Used
to miss games and get suspended for some of that stuff.
I know.
Now it's just everyday stories. It's everyday stories. So with such new rosters, like what are you guys really looking for on these first couple months before season starts?
I think that you look at our league and you look at it historically. I mean, offensively, analytically, it's one of the best leagues year in and year out when you just look at offensive numbers. And so, that's what when you talk about the Summit League in general, that's what I see and stuff. As far as what we're working on right now, it's all about chemistry, connectivity, trust, competitive spirit for us. I mean, we're skill development stuff right now, but in a week and a half, we'll be lacing them up for good.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally agree. We're in the same boat, trying to figure out what we can run, what defensive scheme that fits our personnel. Because I like a lot of these guys, you have a system in place, then you have to make some changes to it because you don't get the pieces that you try to get. And as coaches in this day and era, you have to be able to kind of ebb and flow with your personnel. So you better have a variety of ideas and things you can do offensively and also defensively. So like Hindu got 2 7-footers, like he got to adjust and play a different way, I'm sure, with those 7-footers than he did last year.
Run and gun, coach. Run and gun. They're going to bring the ball up.
We might have one of them play a little point forward. We'll see what happens.
We got Jokic. How did you give me your scouting report right now, Hindu? Just give it to me right now.
Yeah,
you're
Oh my God. How does your non-conference schedules coming together? How are they looking?
Well, we're done. We're done with our schedule. And I know a lot of people are not done.
Yeah, you're right.
A lot of people are not done. Yeah.
But we got a good mix. We mixed in some Power 5, Power 4 games that we needed to play because we needed to get a check, of course. And then we got some like opponents. Then, of course, we're playing that Big Sky challenge that gives us a home game and an away game. We got to return a game to Stetson, who was the NCAA tournament team last year. Abilene Christian is coming to us. We started a series with those guys. Cal Poly comes back to us. So we have some quality, like opponents at home and a couple on the road. But then we also got a couple non-D1s that I think are crucial for teams in our league and at our level to be able to play those type of games. So we got a really, really good combination of our schedule. I like it. We're on the road 3 weekends in a row to start it off. We'll get to see how tough we really are.
Yeah, Coach
Henderson. Brookings isn't a destination for teams to come. I can promise you that. So it's pretty difficult to get home games. And honestly, it's one of the hardest parts of our job right now is scheduling. And we've challenged ourselves in the non-conference every year. And part of it is, like Crutch said, is we're at places that we need to, for the student athlete experience, we need to raise some funds to make that happen. And so those bye games are critical for us, but they're great opportunities for our kids too, to compete and show their competitive spirit. But another, like Crutch said, a mix, a lot of like opponents scheduled. So we're excited about those games. The Cayman Islands won't be a bad trip for us. That's where our MTE is. So we are going to get a little sun, baby. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, Coach Crutchfield's going to get a little sun when he comes to Akron.
Oh God. I'm looking forward to it. I know that.
It's a great place to play. We lost in overtime a couple of years ago. That sucked, but
yeah. Yeah, depending on how the rest of this interview goes, I'm either going to cheer for you, Coach, or I'm going to heckle you when you come to Akron.
Well, you can do both. You can do both.
Careful what you say.
Yeah,
Careful what you ask for, too.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. So before we go into some quick hitters that LT's going to ask, based on kind of both of your coaching backgrounds, I want you to talk a little bit about some mentors that you've had. I know Coach Hendu, you worked and played under Coach McDermott, and then Coach Crutch, you coached alongside Kruger, Musselman, Dana Altman. What does that kind of experience kind of bring to where you guys are at right now?
Well, I got lucky. I've been fortunate, guys, because my first, I was with Lou Henson. I don't know if you guys remember that name.
Yeah.
I was with Lou Henson at New Mexico State.
Man, are you old?
For 4 years.
Coach Crutchfield. Coach Crutchfield, I got a connection to you. Okay. I'm going to say a name. You ready? Yeah. Jimmy Collins.
Oh, my man.
I was at University of Illinois, Chicago, and one of my buddies was Anthony Coombs, who is Mark Coombs' son, and I believe Mark Coombs is Lou Henson's son-in-law.
Used to be son-in-law, yeah.
Yeah, used to be son-in-law. So I know one of Lou Henson's grandsons well, me and Aunt Coombs, baby.
No doubt. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yep. I spent 4 years with Lou on the back end of his career at New Mexico State. And that's where I first learned how to run an offense. Back in the day, you just ran an offense. I was a JUCO head coach. So I saw something on TV. I said, I like it. I'm going to run it. But it didn't fit my personnel. But 3 years later, I get to New Mexico State, and I'm watching Lou dissect plays and understand. And he tells you don't run plays just to run plays. You run them for your personnel. And I'm probably 31, 32 years old, and I figured, he's like, oh, my goodness. But he was a genius. He had a great offensive mind. He had a great defensive mind. So I learned a lot from him. Then I went to TCU. Then I went to Scott Sutton, who's youngest son of Eddie Sutton, who I learned unbelievable defensive principles at Oral Roberts. And then I got really, really blessed and got with Lon. And it was 8 years at Oklahoma. And I still tell people today, he was the best offensive mind in college basketball. And I say this because guys will fly into Norman to sit down to visit with him in the offseason about how to run offense, why you run certain things you run. And he was really, really just so smart and so gifted as far as being able to understand that. Then, of course, I was with Musselman. He's the best marketing guy I've ever seen that's a coach. And, of course, then spending a year with Dana is similar being with Lon. So I've been really blessed, guys, to be around some really, really good Hall of Fame coaches and I've stolen something from everybody. I mean, stuff that I'm doing now here in Omaha. I mean, I stole some stuff from Lou. I got most of it from Lon, a little bit from Eric Musselman, a little bit from Dana Altman. I just put it all together into a package that fit our personnel. I mean, I got about 10 offensive books that are about that thick, Hindu, that I go through daily, trying to come up with something new.
Coach, there's a thing called the internet.
No.
I'm with you, Crutch. No. I just go back to what you feel good about and what you're comfortable with, man.
Yeah.
No, I've I love. That's a pretty cool tree that you have, Crutch, and I love all the dudes I have a lot of respect for, but Lon Kruger, his presence on the sideline, his calmness is just really admirable. When I watched him, it was just pretty special, really. Honestly, yeah. I don't know him at all, but
I remember. Not to cut you off, Coach. I remember Lon Kruger. I was a big KU fan, as was Sam, and my uncle was head of the athletic board. And Lon Kruger is K-State, and if you can win in Manhattan, Kansas, you're a ball coach. Just saying.
Or they have a lot of money, either one, so it's fine.
Depends what year it is.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. But no, like you said, I played for Coach McDermott, coached for him, GA'd under him at Iowa State, and just obviously not only a mentor, but just honestly part of father, family, just the way he created a culture of that, and in the relationships that he had with his players was pretty special. And then And then TJ, you know, I met TJ when I was at Iowa State as a GA, and just became really, really good friends. And his ability to recruit, his mentality, his bulldog mentality is just, honestly, I've learned so much from both of those guys. I worked for Dave Richmond up at North Dakota State for a couple years, and you know, learned a lot from him too. And so, you know, like Crutch said, you take a little bit from everyone, but you have to be true to what your personality is and who you are, and make it your own. And that's what we've tried to do up here, you know, once I took over the program. But there's I'm sure you can see parts of each of those guys and what we do.
Yeah. Absolutely. I wish Coach TJ would wear a tighter shirt.
yeah, he's certainly, it's important for him to work out and show what he's working on.
Yeah. I love it. Well, I didn't want to let you guys off. Yeah, I didn't want to let you guys off the hook, because you guys did come from such a rich coaching tree, and hearing some of those stories about
the thing I love about TJ, and this is an absolute compliment to TJ. But when he was the coach at South Dakota State, like, offensively, our numbers were ridiculous. Like, now we have Mike Dom, we had some really good players, but offensively we were such an elite offensive team. And now you look at his teams and the way that they defend and guard. I mean, it just goes back to what Crutch was saying. You have to know where you're at. You have to be true to yourself and know what type of players you have and can get.
Yeah. That's the truth. Sam, you want to set them up?
Yeah, let's do it. So we do a little thing here where LT is going to fire off 5 or 6 questions. Some of them may be a little silly. Some of them may lead to a story, but we're going to ask both of you guys to answer, but whoever has the first answer, just let it rip. LT, let's go.
All right. I think Coach Crutchfield is cleaning his golf shoes. One word to describe the Summit League.
Move.
I feel you. One word to describe the Summit League.
Physical.
Fast.
Physically fast. Okay. All right. Toughest place to play in your conference.
South Dakota State.
Oh, probably NDSU.
Okay. Coach Crutchfield, you still say San Diego State?
San Diego State.
and really, then after that, St. Thomas. St. Thomas.
Yes, I'm with you there, Crutch. St. Thomas.
St. Thomas hard to play.
Oh yeah.
Well, I started following St. Thomas after they played Michigan State pretty closely, and I'm like, all right, this team is legitimate. And when your team name is the same name as your name and your full name, it's pretty cool, the Tommies. So, but all right, here's a tough one. Best conference official.
Kelly Pfeiffer.
First on that one. What's that?
Kelly Pfeiffer.
Okay. Coach Crutch, we can ask you who the worst is if you're more comfortable saying the worst.
I don't think any of them are good, to be honest with you. But I got to give you a name, right?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Kelly is good. I like Kelly. Kelly is good. And he's from South Dakota, so that's why Hindu said that shit. I know.
That's what happens when you're from South Dakota State. You know,
it works the other. We always think it works the other way. He tries to mess us up and says, I can't look like I'm a homer, so I'm going to not be a homer.
Yeah.
That's a good question, guys. I'm telling you right now, I can't find a good one. They're all about average to me.
Okay.
We're going to get you back on here.
I can say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Best dressed coach in the conference.
Marvin
Menzies, baby.
Crutch, you're not saying anything.
Probably Dave Richmond.
Okay.
He might be the smoothest cat on the sideline.
He's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, who's the most animated coach on the sideline?
Paul Sather.
Hindu.
Oh.
Really? You got North Dakota and South Dakota.
He's swinging those arms. He's on the official. He's whispering in their ear. He's squatting down 1 minute.
Just because I'm a 7-footer, my wingspan 7'3".
His arms are flinging all over the place.
I'm a toothpick too. I have no meat on me.
Oh my God. Maybe you should get the TJ program on you, Coach TJ.
He tried.
That'd be great.
All right.
Ship the medium shirts to Brooklyn.
Baby Gap. So Coach Crutchfield, all right. If Coach Henderson was a barbecue sauce, what barbecue sauce would he be?
Rich and sassy.
There you go.
Okay. Coach Henderson, if Coach Crutchfield was a scented candle, it could be a blend. What what scented candle would Coach Crutchfield be?
Oh, he's got to be like that pine cone, that pine tree.
Oh my goodness. That's a good smell.
I like it.
Were you a little concerned?
Hell yeah.
All right. Which team fouls the most in your conference? Has the most personal fouls as a team per game in the Summit League? Who is it?
Statistically called.
Statistically called.
UMKC.
19.5 fouls a game. Who is the least?
South Dakota State.
Yeah, South Dakota State. 14.4. And that's what happens when you have Homer officials.
Ding, ding, ding. Isn't that something?
Oh, yeah.
Numbers don't lie.
Hey, Coach,
we're not fast enough to foul anybody.
Hey, Coach Crutchfield, your fouls are going to go up exponentially because you named every single official as mid-level in your conference.
I didn't say that. I just said I couldn't pick a good one. They're all about the same.
They're gonna have to earn it this year with Coach Crutch. We're going to get Coach Crutch in here mid-season. And, yeah.
Don't let that segment reach social media then.
Oh, it's going to be all over. This is our whole conversation. No, we're good. Sammy, set them up or finish them off.
So we're going to turn it over to you guys the last minute of the show here. Anything you guys want to share about your individual programs or the Summit League as an overall conference, kind of what you guys are expecting and working on early season. So Coach Crutch, let's start with you.
Well, first of all, I will say this. I'm proud to be in this league because when I first came in, I didn't know what to expect. In that first year, I mean, we was just kind of putting pieces together and didn't realize how big and how physical the league was. We were so small and undersized, and every year we tried to fix a hole and plug a hole. I feel like this year we're finally got a complete roster. But also, I mean, my chancellor, my AD have been so good to me that we're aligned. We're walking and holding hands together. They understand what this process is. I didn't try to quick fix this program when I got the job. I took our time to recruit the right people, the right kids, and we had a 3-4 year plan when I came in, and we're right on track to where I think we need to be as far as this should be our most talented roster since I've been here, and hopefully we can compete for a championship this year in the Summit. And but I got a lot of respect for this league, man. I was shocked how good this league is, and now you get to really see it. People get to see it nationally when you lose as many good players that we've lost from this league. Let people know how good this league really is. So I'm excited for this year because it's kind of wide open. This might be the first year South Dakota State won't be picked first since I've been in the league. And Oral Roberts over the years has been really good with Paul Mills. So I'm excited to be in the league. I'm excited about this year. I do like my roster, and I'm interested to see what Hindu do with a young team because I've been on that side of it.
Well, I promise you we'll fight. We'll compete. I can't tell you how many wins or losses we're going to have, but we're excited about our group too. And like Crutch said, I'm proud to be in this league as well, and amongst a lot of really, really quality coaches that do it the right way. And I've been blessed. It's been a little bit different where when I became the head coach here, this program's been good for a long time, and it was good without me, and before me, it's going to be good after they get rid of me too. And it's a great place to coach and in play. Our people really, really care about basketball here at South Dakota State, and the way they support us is pretty special. And we're looking forward to bringing this new squad and new guys into this battle tested league, and we'll be ready to go. We'll fight, we'll compete, but we'll see what happens when the wins and losses come down to it. And then, but being part of a one bid league, boys, at the end of the day, you just got to be playing your best at the end of the year, and anything can happen.
Yeah, South Dakota State. They'll fight, they'll compete, they won't get fouled.
Or foul.
They won't foul. Yeah.
Or foul. Exactly. Just making sure you're paying attention. But Jen, hey, coaches, just you're going to hold on 1 second while we upload this. But Sam, that was a really good episode. Coach Crutchfield out of Omaha, Coach Hendu out of South Dakota State. We're really excited for the Summit League. I hope you guys follow it just like we're going to. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the Full Court Press podcast, a college basketball experience. We'll be back with some more preview shows.